Here's another Pilates practice with Cathy Sachs. Yes. What's today? Today is the 6th, 7th, 8th. Oh,
you're a little bit behind the time.
That's not surprising.
My birthday's on Monday.
Happy birthday, Cathy Sachs.
I'm going to be 73.
73 is a lovely age. So
Oh,
I would have thought you
right.
were 49.
Oh, right. All right.
So let's start with some flexion. So flexion is when you're bowing the back, and then extension is when you extend the back the other way. But we, even though the camera's over there, we can use the bar, which will make it easier. You can round the back by bending the knees slightly, stretching the arms out, kind of holding on. So it's a rounded back. You can shimmy shift the shoulders.
Like this?
Yeah, and then you still want, which is a great Pilates piece, to tip the belly in and drop the tail down. So the pelvis goes like this. Now it's not bending the knees, it's tipping the pelvis so that the belly scoops in and the tailbone goes down. And that's a rounded back.
Okay.
And then walk a little closer. Weight your heels, that means sway back onto your heels so your toes and your balls of the feet are light.
Okay.
Arms are straight, and gently lift the heart, but keep weight in the heels. And that demands a little bit of ab control, so don't sway the pelvis forward, but hold on to the bar and gently arc the upper back and look up to about right here. But it's not tipping the head, it's keeping the heels weighted, yeah, and you lifting the heart. And then come back to that rounded flexion, so you can walk back a few paces, round the back, drop the tail, scoop the belly, and then walk back up a little closer to the bar. Weight the heels, straight arms. You're almost sort of just holding on to the bar as you gently lift the heart of the sternum and look up, 12, 24 inches up. And then we're going to go to some lateral stretches.
Should we do that again so I can get that in my head?
Oh, sure. So you could use the back of a big chair, like a big heavy chair.
And
sure. So walk back. So the spinal flexion, I'm going to exaggerate, is a rounded cat shape like in cat-cow.
okay.
And as you step back a little bit further, it is the tip of the pelvis goes this way, which is very Pilates, as you bend the knees and send the hips down. So it's a tip of the pelvis like this. Yep.
Okay.
And then, and your front ribs gently go in as your back ribs round out, so that your back, even down here, is rounded.
Okay.
So that's a cat. And then come back in a little closer. Weight the heels, because if you go on the balls of the feet, I'll see if I can show you. If you go on the balls of the feet, when you arc the back up, the pelvis goes forward. But if you weight the heels, you can't take the pelvis forward, and it's an arc of the upper back, or aspiring to be an arc of the upper back.
Okay.
And and you want to go one more time into a cat type version, so you'll walk back a little bit. Yeah, and I find it helpful to think about dropping the tailbone. So dropping the tailbone down, down, yep. And then walk back towards the bar, come to upright standing. It's important to weight the heels, because that keeps the pelvis from excessively swaying forward as you use the hands to just kind of brace. Straight arms, palms open, weight the heels. Okay. That means sort of kind of slide as far away from the bar as you can get. Your toes start feeling like they're coming up. And then lift the sternum. So it's a gentle lift of the sternum here. Yeah, that's nice. All right, so that's rounding both forward and back. Yeah, flexion and extension, forward and back. Yeah, it's a cat type, in yoga. And then a cow, if you want to think of it that way, where you arc the back the other way, like that. That's rounded, and then you're going to arc raise the sternum and sort of go to the arc in the other direction. Yeah, nice, and you're not swaying your pelvis forward.
Okay,
Great.
thank you.
Yeah. But lateral stretches, if you hold on to the bar, I like to use an open palm because when you grip, it sort of tends to have other things grip. So take this hand up and come over on a lateral stretch. You can come as high or as low as comfortable, but this part of your trunk is folding a little towards the wall, and then I will do that two more times, so 3 times. Coming up, let's change places so we can.
This way?
Yeah, if you back up, I'll keep you in the camera if you back up a little bit.
Okay.
All right. This hand comes up. It doesn't have to come straight over. It can come over at a diagonal so that you can keep it quite low. You can even keep it on the hips, Kathy, if that's better.
Keep what on the hips?
Your right hand.
Oh,
If your shoulder says, I don't want to do that.
It is.
Yes. You just put it on your hip. You say, okay, fine. And then you can, it's a little bit of a fold, but it is a stretch this way. And then we'll do that 2 more times. Come to upright standing and come over. And up. And over. And up. And then a twist. This is the easiest way to do it, is to stand here, keep your legs, pelvis still, and just turn this way to look over to the wall this way. So, Kathy, watch me. You let your pelvis go. See if you can ask the pelvis to stay steady as you turn through the ribs, and you just turn a little bit this way. Yeah, so it's turned through this part of the back, and this part of the back stays steady. So there's a turn right here to look this way. It doesn't go very far. I mean, if you take your pelvis, you can go further, but you're really looking to turn the back through here. So, like this. Yep. Okay. And then face this way. You'll be able to see. The mirror will give you some feedback. As you stand looking at the mirror, I'm asking the red pants to stay still while the blue sweater turns. But that means not even the bottom blue sweater turns. As you turn towards the wall or towards the bar. It doesn't mean both hands get there, so come back because I want you to keep your pelvis still. And it'll limit how far you go, but you're still stretching the spine, upper back.
Okay.
So now turn towards this bar. Yeah, and the pelvis doesn't move, but the ribs move as the pelvis goes this way. So let's do that one more time. The ribs go this way as the pelvis goes this way, and
The ribs go.
the ribs go toward into the turn, and the upper back and spine, but the pelvis goes this way. Yeah, does that make sense?
No.
As you come here, I could take my pelvis, but I don't want to. I want my pelvis to stay here as I turn this way. So it actually feels like the pelvis is moving a little bit in the opposite direction. I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's a tiny little movement, but it's just good for the upper back to do that turn. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and then take a glance at yourself in the mirror while you do it, because you got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then try it one more time on the other side now that you had the mirror to give you the proprioceptive information, plus a little bit of holding your pelvis. Yeah, you did it. You didn't move the pelvis. That's great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are nice warm-ups for the back and spine. Cat or flexion, extension, cow, lateral stretches, and then the gentle twist, trying to twist through the upper back.
Okay. They're hard to do. I find them hard to do. It's like I have to get it
Yeah, you did it very well.
till I get home.
Well, you have the video. May it
That's
show
true.
you what you need to do.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go over, I'm gonna put you in that same spot you were in last week, where you're here, and you'll lie down facing this way, or you'll sit with the barrel behind you, and I'm gonna sit here.
Okay.
Would you like something, a box or a chair?
A chair, I think, to help me get down.
Okay.
Or at least I have it to get up.
Let's see if there is a chair.
If there's not, I will cope.
What we used last week was one of these. sort of came here to come down onto the floor. Will that work?
Okay, and then I scooted over there.
Yeah. And I'm kind of standing on the edges, staying close to you.
Okay, so I wanna.
Yeah, and you want to, I'm gonna face one way, you're gonna face the other. I want you to be with the barrel behind you. If we wanted, once you get here, you could just luxuriously lay around for the rest of the day. But it's not really your style.
It's not, but I'm trying to. Okay.
Okay, you're gonna come here, support your head, and then slide back down a little bit so you're super comfortable. I mean, relatively. So, and then from here, I want you to blow out and rock the pelvis, rock the abdominals into a strong engagement, pelvic imprint.
Rock this way or this way?
It is, I'm coming up so you can see me. So imagine I'm lying down and there's a floor behind me. When you want the abdominals to rock into engagement, you can dial them up, not forward, not towards the ceiling, but you dial them up towards your back ribs, which makes the back of the pelvis go towards the floor. So it
Okay.
lengthens all through here.
All right.
All right. So yeah, and it's right. Use the exhale to firm up and have this area drop in toward the spine. Yeah, and then keep this firm as you bring right leg up to tabletop. Left leg up to tabletop. Do you want one hand behind the head?
Yeah. That would be good.
And then
I
exhale. Yep. Exhale. Yep. And then tap one foot right foot towards the floor and bring it back up. Left foot to the floor and bring it back up. Keep this firmed up and use the exhale as you tap the right foot. Inhale as you bring it back up. Left foot and bring it back up. Right. How you doing?
It's work. I'm hanging in there.
Is the right foot going to come back eventually? And left foot and bring it back up. And then one more time on each side, right, and bring it back up, and left and bring it. And then leave the left one down. Take the right one down, and tell me how was that?
It's all right.
I've not seen this before. You got very, okay, it's
Purse.
not very, but it was just slightly like, I've not quite seen that expression before. That was a good one. Like, what does that mean when Cathy Sachs does that? I'm gonna just keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna move down just a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's what it's. Yeah. Do you want to rest your head for a moment? Just
Yeah, I do.
So, are you finding strain in your head, neck, and shoulders?
Right now, it's in my head.
In your head,
Here.
the back of your
My
head.
skull. My whatever that is.
Yeah, that big skull, that big head of yours with all the great curls. Now, I don't think I've had anybody feel it in their head before. Is that just like a little bit like strain and a little bit of a headache, or is that muscular tension
Muscular.
of the back of the skull?
As I was doing it, I was putting a lot of pressure back here, and maybe if I had both.
Now there is a trick. When you take your hand behind your head, so while your head is resting back, take one hand behind you, the curve of your neck, and slide the heel of the hand to the base of the skull. Rest the head back into the hand, and the head is resting into the hand. The hand is there not to pull the neck, but to have the head rest back. It is abdominal muscles right here that keep you flexed up. If you're feeling it in your neck, you'll want to either come all the way back down or rest the head more into the back and use more abdominal muscles to hold you into that upright position where you can look towards wall, the mirror wall on that side of the room.
Okay.
Do you want to try again?
Okay.
But I want to just explore if we can get the tension out of your head, because that's not where we want it. Okay. Don't bring the feet up. I just want to explore flexing up into a position where you're looking over your knees or through your knees. So first, rest the head back into the hand. Inhale, and then exhale. I want you to move your bottom ribs towards your hip points to use these muscles to flex you up to be able to look over. And I want you to stay for the inhale and rest the head back, but don't come down to the barrel. Exhale, use these muscles to pull you up even a little higher as you let your head rest into your hands. And then use these muscles on the exhale to pull your trunk into a flex position or up, as your head rests into your hands. And then on the next inhale, just go ahead and roll back down. And don't worry too much about the breath, even though I am accustomed to you cueing the breath. You got the movements. Get the movements, and then you can work on having the breath help you move the exhale. I call it the thunder from upstairs.
What's going, is that?
It's Scott throwing weights up and down. He said, Cathy's downstairs, I'm saying hello to her. So he's throwing big, heavy balls at the
Oh
floor.
my God. Something gonna come through the floor? No.
I used to teach you restorative yoga in this room, which is like really the chillest, most gentle yoga. Like people are like in samadhi, they're so chilled. And then thunder and lightning would start happening from upstairs, and it was like, just take this as part of your practice.
Okay.
All right. How was that on the head and neck?
It was fine.
Oh, really?
I think it was putting another hand up and back
Oh,
of
good.
my head.
All right. Let me show you what the next progression is. Are you comfortable resting with your head there for a moment? I want to be a little closer to where I set myself up. I want to be a little closer so that you don't have to turn your head too much. I'm trying to be far enough back that you can see me.
Okay, I guess I'll have to. Yeah.
Okay, you want to rest your head back? Can you see me all right like
Yeah.
that? All right.
Yeah.
I'm here, and I'm replicating what you're doing. I'm going to bring one leg up, and then the other leg up. Try not to let the pelvis move, so it's a lot of isometric holding. And then you've been tapping the foot towards the floor like this, but what I want you to do is try firm abs and sliding the foot out a little bit. All the while the head is resting into the hands. And we'll do about 4, and then we'll put the feet back down and rest back.
Okay, so
the game is, head is not to be bothered. Which means you're resting the head into the hands so that there's no strain in the head, right? And if you feel that, we'll stop. So you're gonna exhale deeply and firm up these muscles. Think about lifting this right foot and then do that. Stay. Think about lifting the left foot and then do that. Stay for the inhale and then slide right foot out slightly in a little sort of bicycle movement. Bring it back in. Left foot, bring it back in. You can use the exhale to slide the right foot out. This is the last 2, and then back in. Left foot out, and your head is resting back. Stay for the inhale, and then put right foot and then left foot back down on the ground. That was very well done, Cathy. You've been working, I can tell.
well, I've been trying. I didn't get to all of it. Because it got too little late, but I tried what I could.
And I apologize for not getting it
That's
to you
all right.
sooner.
That's all right.
The internet is,
There was.
I'm getting better and better, but each time I figure something out, so there's a new twist, And I don't do it very often, so I'm not the master.
Well, I'm amazed you can do it. I couldn't do it.
But it was working. The little link up to YouTube, and you can just get an easy link. It's brilliant. Because if I tried to get a video to you, they're huge files. So YouTube is brilliant. It's great. It's great. It's great.
Well, I was thinking
It's
after our last meeting on Thursday, you said you wondered if there had been room.
Right.
To do it, and then
It
you
had
said
said
no, it's fine.
Yeah, and I actually have it's the iCloud storage. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's this storage that Apple, so we've gotten smaller devices because all of our data, all of our pictures, all of our files are saved in this place called the iCloud. And if you have a certain amount of storage that's given to you as part of your device, my phone, that if you fill it up, you have to buy storage.
Oh, you told me about this.
And I was trying to clean, I think it's largely our videos that are taking up a lot of my space. So I started cleaning some things off, but they also don't make it very easy to clean it off. You have to go around the corner and up the stairs. So anyway, and I could buy storage, but I'm so Scotch, Cathy. So I will eventually, anyway, that's another story. All right, I would like you to rest your head back, and the game is sort of, I'll show you. It'll be, you're lying down, and you're just going to take a rubber band, your arms are straight, and you're going to go stretch, stretch, stretch. So you're doing the same movement you just did. The upper back is not flexed up, but you're just working on the strength of the legs and also stretching them. Let's start with your right foot, and I'll have you hold these. Just hold these like this, and I'll help you. Wait, you need to hold about where I'm offering you.
Oh.
Hold right here.
Here.
And hold right here.
Okay.
And then bring your right leg in. And then press there. And straight arms, shoulder blades a little retracted, and then I just want you to bend and stretch into so bend the knee, and then stretch into that.
Like this?
Like that, but I'll go with you so you can see. Your head is resting back, right foot here, and it's just a stretch, stretch, stretch. Now, if you need more resistance, you just tighten up on the foot. You know, you can get closer to the foot. Stretch, oosh, oosh, oosh. And you're trying to keep the foot at the same level, or you can make it really easy and give yourself more slack, and then stretch, stretch, stretch. The more slack is actually strangely more demanding to the abs as you extend your leg out. I mean, just imagine holding your leg without the strap there. It would take a lot of abs. So the easier it is on the leg, the harder it is on the abs. The harder it is on the leg, the easier it is on the abs. You still want to keep the pelvis really still. And then change legs. So while you're here, to set this up, firm up the shoulder blades, which means pull them in towards the spine. So your arms are straight, and then you stretch the leg out and back in. Go about 10 times.
Like
3,
this.
Yep. 4, so this is strengthening the leg and also toning the abs. I think this is 6.
And what do I do with my abs while I'm doing this?
Firm them up as you extend out.
Okay.
So that your pelvis and lower back don't change. And let's call that 10. All right.
Okay, this is 6 for me.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Because I stopped. 8, 9. Okay.
All right. I want you to roll. Now, remind me when we did some. Let's do some bridges here while you're on your back. That means I'm going to take the barrel away. But you're going to want a little bit of height under your head. Oh, I'll just use that mat over there. You want, for bridges, you don't want too much height under the head. But because of because your shoulders and upper back are a little stiff, you do want to support the head. So take your hands behind your head. I'm going to take the barrel away. So you have, and then there's a pad behind you, but it's not as high as the barrel. And rest your head back. Yep, it's lower but now, to do the bridges, I want you to bend the elbows and point at the ceiling first. Press the elbows and the upper arms down onto the ground. So yeah, like that. And with your and that helps firm up your shoulder blades, and then lift the pelvis vertebra by vertebra, coming into a shoulder bridge, a bridge. You've done this before. I know you've got good glutes. Keep going a little higher as you press the upper arm into the ground. How's your neck and head?
It's fine.
Can you stretch the top of the thighs out, tipping the kneecaps towards the wall on the other side of the room? And it should feel good. Take your hands to your hip points or your pelvis, and just notice that the belly is nice and flat and the abs are drawn in. And then roll back down. Let's do 2 more bridges like that. Do you want to bring your feet a little closer, Cathy?
Mm-hmm. Like that?
Yeah.
So,
nice shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You had some shoes on the other day that I liked.
Those are the same
Oh,
one.
they are? Okay.
Just getting used to them.
Stay. And roll back down. And then remember to keep your upper arms settled strongly into the ground so the shoulder blades are strong and the upper back is strong.
Okay.
And then roll up into a pelvis, press the heels, firm up the glutes, the tops of the thighs slide out, slide out, slide out. Nice bridge, Cathy. Stay. I want you to weight your right foot a little bit more than the left, keeping the pelvis symmetrical.
Like that?
Yeah, and then change, sort of march from side to side, or shift your weight from side to side. But I want you, as you sort of weight one foot, you're going to have to squeeze that glute. So if you come to the right foot, you're going to squeeze the right glute. And as you sway to the weight to the left foot, you squeeze the left glute. And then do that one more time to the right. One more time to the left. Good going. And then hinge back down. Cathy, that was really well done.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, what you did is most people when they weight one foot or the other, they'll shift their pelvis as their butt isn't quite so strong. They shift towards the foot that is holding the weight, and your pelvis stayed your pelvis stayed really symmetrical. So good glutes, Cathy. That's great. All right. Now,
couldn't have lasted all this time, the good glutes.
No, they couldn't have lasted all this time, but some of it could have.
Some of it.
Yeah, and because you're using some of it as you walk around and stabilize. Come up to a seated position. And you'll face me. And I think you're going to want to sit on a little bit of height. So I'm going to roll this so it loosely, so it gives you a little bit of height. So any kind of cushion or pad, and you will sit with your legs. Actually, let's instead of facing me, why don't you face this way? It'll be easier to set up since the pad is already set up that way. You're going to be there and I'm going to be over here.
I am just a little bit.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, it'll go.
Yes, but while you're here, you know what, I'm going, because there's a hard wooden floor behind you, I'm just gonna put a little something right here.
Okay.
How's that? And
That
actually,
works.
if you sit up a little bit, I'm gonna bring this a little closer. Now, we can't do the exercise I wanted to do while you're sitting with your back there, but I can demonstrate it. So let me demonstrate while you're sitting there, okay? Your knees don't have to be straight, but there's an energy of the legs dropping down. There's a little engagement of the abs, and you can think about lifting the pelvic floor upward, and you sit tall. Your arms don't have to be here, you can actually be here, and it's like the twist we did over at the bar. Your pelvis and legs try to stay steady as you turn, 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 and then come back to center and try to sit really tall. And then it's a turn, exhale, 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 3 little turns, and come back to center. You're looking to move the ribs, the thoracic spine, the head, and the shoulders, and then you can come back to center and open the arms if you'd like. Now what happens is, when you turn, one leg likes to shift further out and the pelvis likes to go too. So you're asking this to stay steady. So instead of going like this, I'm trying to keep this still, this still. You can go here, go, and then arms outspread, arms outspread. Now,
It's a lot to take in. Can tell you know exactly what you're doing.
you always do it very well.
Yeah, okay.
All right, when you're ready, I'll take that away because you can't really turn with something behind
Yeah,
your
I'm
back. How's your head?
It's fine.
Okay. But you know what I'm doing? I'm putting a pad behind you just in case you decide to slide one way or the other.
I'm not gonna go that way and bang my head.
Well, that's why I put a pad back there.
Okay, well,
So-
then it's not gonna happen.
Perfect. All right. Now, even though your legs don't quite do it, I want you to think about dropping your knees downward, which will give you a little bit more oomph here. And then I want you to turn to look towards the camera. 1, 2, 3. Come back to center. Don't let the legs move. 2, 3. Keep your heels where they are. Come back to center. And as you come back to center, let the arms come out a little bit. And then come back to chest as you turn. 1, 2, 3. Come back to center. Keep the heels where they are. You're doing a great job. Turn to the right or to your left, and then back to center. And then 2. One more time to your right and back to center. While you're here, spine stretch. Take your hands to your legs, and I'm coming back into sort of your view and the camera's view. It's a scoop of the belly and a rounding of the upper back so the back ribs go back. And then as you restack the spine, you come up to seated and the head comes up last. Round the back, we'll add something here, round the back, and then come up to seated, and then take one hand into your peripheral vision and then the end. The other one doesn't have to go.
Okay.
Right? All right. And it looks like really what would be advantageous is to have you on even more height. Can you?
My legs are so tired.
Yeah, I can tell. Come forward a little bit. And I'm looking for, well, let's come onto our bellies. Well, we'll do another exercise and then we'll come back to finding the right height for you to sit on, because you should be able to. And then, Cathy, when we worked on our belly, I remember this was not comfortable. Did we find somewhere that you were comfortable?
You mean with my arms?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
How did we work it out the last time? Because I think, were you here with one arm like this?
You know, I don't remember. That looks like it.
because what I'd like to do is it's firming up the abs so that the pelvis is supported, and then it's lifting one leg and placing it down, and then the other.
Right.
I know we had tried using the arc barrel or a roller, but it was too much weight for your back. Let's
see what I
and
can
then
do.
there is also the possibility, and watch this, of taking something like a long cushion and placing it under your trunk, which gives your shoulders a little more height.
Okay.
So let's actually start with that. Do you want to? Yeah. It'll be enough, so your head will be off, and your hands hopefully will fit here as your belly trunk comes onto the pad. You're scoot a little bit further forward and leave the purple pad, yeah. And then how is that? And I don't want your head down. I want you looking straight down. So I want you looking straight down like this.
Like this?
Yeah, and your forearms are supporting you. Maybe take your elbows a little bit wider if that's comfortable. Yeah.
I don't think I can.
That's fine. How is that? Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then is your head and neck comfortable?
Yeah, it's a little bit of work.
Yeah.
To keep my head up. But
I think we probably could let your head rest, but we would, and I think what you could do is do something like this. Let's see if this will work, Cathy. Props are great things when you get them just right, but I don't think your glasses are going to lap like this. It's the forehead resting.
okay.
Okay, how is that? Is that better?
Really good.
Oh, good. All right, now wait. The back of your pelvis I raised up, and the way I want you to do it is by drawing the belly right below the belly button above the pubic bone. I want you to raise that area upward. And
No.
I didn't see a change in your back. So what I want
So what is it you want me to do?
all right, the area right below the belly button,
Okay.
above the pubic bone,
Okay.
low belly, I want you to think about an ice cube right under you, and you're trying to get away from it. Yeah, and now that's great. And I did see a change in your back, and now I want you to lift the right leg long and strong and firm, and it's straight, and then place it back down. Yeah, like that. And then do that 3 times on that same side. Just go one side 3 times. You can use the exhale. That's great, Cathy, because your leg is nice and long and strong, and then 3 times on the other side. And you're looking to keep the belly drawn up so that the pelvis doesn't move, and it's just the leg that's moving and the glute that's activating. And then go back to the first side. Yeah, and remember to keep the belly drawn up. Yep. So it actually limits the movement of the leg to keep the pelvis still, because it means it's only the leg and the hip joint that's moving. But that means instead of using back muscles, you're using butt and hamstring. So you're using the butt and the back of the thigh. And can you go another set? You go doing well? Draw the belly up, draw the belly up. Yep, oh, that was good. That was the best yet. You did it, Cathy.
Okay.
And then draw the belly up. Yep. Great. Yeah. And then rest. And then, are you comfortable in a child's pose or coming up onto your hands and knees?
Yeah.
Okay, come on up to your hands and knees. When you've done some back extension work, it's nice to round forward. A nice way to do that is to take this pad. Your knees are pretty wide, tuck the pad into your lap, and then it gives you a little bit of support as you round the back and maybe stack the hands and come to a child's pose or a shell
Like this?
So wide knees, or as wide as you are comfortable, yeah? Yeah, child's pose, and then take this right into your belly. So it supports you, and then as you come forward, it sort of helps the lower back around a little bit more. Stack the hands like this. And then see if your head can get there. And if your head doesn't get there, that's fine. Yeah. And the lifting of the legs does tend to use its back muscles and back of the leg muscles, and it's just nice after you have sort of asked the back muscles to work to actually let them stretch out right through here, right through here. Does that feel good? Okay.
That feels good.
Cathy Sachs, how can it be that we only have 8 minutes left?
Yeah, where did all that time go?
Cathy, you're just too much fun. Let's do a little bit of, we'll come all the way up to standing, and we'll do a little bit of balance work.
Okay.
So that we can, and I'm going to bring, look what I'm bringing. You never need it, but you. Nicely done. And then we're going to go over to the bar.
All right.
So that we can use the bar for our balance work. Heading to the bar. You get that corner and I get this corner.
What corner do you want me to have?
Well, it's not
Here?
really a corner, it's this. You
Okay.
get this, I don't know what to call that part of the bar. It's not really a corner, but you're, this is my corner. But we're gonna switch, we're gonna share. All right, take the foot closest to the bar and wait, so that's your right foot. And pick up the right foot and bring the toe in front of you and just rest the toe on the floor. You got the advantage of looking in the mirror to be able to see sort of where you are, which is nice.
Okay.
And then see if you can lift the toe and the hand. Oh, Cathy Sachs. Now place the foot down. We're going to stay on that same left foot, but this time I want you to keep the knees close together and kick up the foot behind you. So the knees stay close together.
The foot that I just.
Yeah, so you're sitting on your left foot and you're kicking up your right heel towards your butt, and your knees are staying close together. So the weight is more behind you, which will make it demanding on that standing leg a little differently. And we stay for about 30 seconds and then place that foot back down. An hour later, she's still on the same foot. All right, I've got a new challenge for you, which is to weight your left leg and take your right leg out to the right side. Ooh, no, we're standing on the left leg. We're still challenging that left leg.
So my right.
Yeah, and then and you can take a toe to the floor, and that's kind of nice. And then see if you can lift the hands off the bar. Or if you're at home, you can just use a high, heavy chair or a counter. Have you got something you can use?
Yeah.
Or like even in the bathroom?
I have heavy dining room chairs. So.
Perfect, okay, as long as they don't tip over. And then let's change sides. You won't have the advantage of the mirror, but we can at least face each other. You're gonna, let's see, you were weighted to the left, so you want to use your right leg now.
No, I was on the right. Now I'm on the left.
Okay.
Right? No, I was working on my right, you were on your left. So now you're on your right and I'm on the left.
We were facing the same direction,
Yeah, but.
using the same foot.
I
believe you.
Okay.
I believe you. You
Okay.
know which leg you just worked. I'm sure you know which leg.
Yeah.
You do the other leg.
Okay.
We're starting with the foot coming in front of you. The toe can be on the floor or you can lift the foot, and the weight of the leg, call it the gesture leg. We don't have to call it rights and lefts. The gesture, and you're standing on one leg, but you're managing the weight of the gesture leg forward of your main body. You're respiring for about 30 seconds or so. We look like we're, praying mantis about to jump. And then we're gonna change to, take a break for a moment, stand on both feet. Thank you, right leg. And then the knees stay together and you kick up the foot, heel behind you. Again, you can have the toe on the floor, but keep the knees close together for now. Yes, so the weight of the lower leg is what challenges you. And your standing leg, support leg is figuring that out. You're still looking